In response to these unique circumstances that we find ourselves in, we have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that we can continue to offer high quality education to all of our learners at Beacon Hill Academy. We've utilised the technology at our disposal and have designed an online curriculum that will enable learners to receive a high quality education in a virtual and online environment over the next coming weeks and months. This vodcast will outline all of the key features for how learners should access and utilise this facility while schools up and down the country continue to remain closed. All learners currently have access to Office 365, which consists of key Microsoft packages such as Word, PowerPoint, SharePoint, and Microsoft Teams. All of these Microsoft 365 tools will be vital to your child's progress during this time. Now, please don't worry if you don't have access to these packages on your laptop or PC at home. You can access all of these packages through our online portal, which I will outline in a moment to you. Firstly, it is important to note that your child can access all of these features by following the simple online instructions that I will go through during this podcast. During the closure, your child will have access to our online curriculum from Microsoft Teams. Fully aware that many learners and perhaps even parents may not have heard of Microsoft Teams, but again, we will go through this in more detail. We've carefully arranged resources from voiceover PowerPoints to worksheets, as well as directing learners to other online resources. Staff will be able to set work and will be able to receive work from students which they can give feedback to. Work from maths, English and science teachers will be directed and set on Microsoft Teams as of Monday the 20th of April. All other subjects will continue to use the Beacon Hill Academy website to set work for now, but in time will also move over to Microsoft Teams. So let's take a look at how this will work. I fully appreciate that this new way of learning through a distance learning program might be a little unusual and daunting, but let me reassure you that we are here to help. So if this video does not go through everything that you need to know, then please do email us on helpline@beaconhillacademy.org.uk, and of course one of our team will be able to help you, give you a call and go through this in more detail with you. So let's just cover the basics first. Phase 2 of the distance learning program will mean that in maths, English and science, work will be pre-recorded for 2 lessons a week. This means that teachers will use their PowerPoint presentations and record over the PowerPoint instructions and work that students need to do. Teachers will also use the opportunity to consolidate prior learning or introduce new topics to provide structure for work for learners to be able to do at home. Learners will be able to upload this work once they have completed it onto our school portal via Microsoft Teams, and teachers will be able to give them feedback on the work that they have completed. There will be an expectation that students will do this, and there will be 48 hours for the time that students have the time to download the information and then upload it back onto the Teams portal. So what will lessons look like? Well, each lesson will consist of mainly a PowerPoint presentation. And as I've mentioned, this PowerPoint presentation will have the teacher's voiceover. It may not be your class teacher itself because the work is being shared across the school and across the trust. Each presentation will be converted into a video which can be viewed through the PC, laptop, tablets, mobile phones or any other mobile device that has internet access. So you do not need to worry that you don't necessarily have a laptop at home to be able to access the work. Each lesson will feature no more than about 45 minutes worth of work. And that's not just 45 minutes of the teacher talking, that takes into the time into account for the tasks that learners need to do to be able to complete the activities. The great thing is that these videos can be stopped, they can be paused, and work can be revisited if students need to go back and revisit. Lessons will, a bit like in school, have a very short do now activity, or starters as some schools may call them. The main purpose of the do now activity or the starter activity is to recap the prior learning that students have learned from the previous lesson. We'll then introduce the aims of the current lesson or the lesson that's being used at Beacon Hill Academy. We call those progress indicators, and then the teachers will give out new knowledge, talk to the students about what they're learning, go through particular diagrams, if it's a science lesson or a geography lessons, give out new information, and then there will be relevant learning tasks that students can complete, followed by a plenary at the end of the lesson to test the students' knowledge. Now, each lesson will have appropriate tasks and activities which we would expect learners to be able to upload back onto Microsoft Teams for teachers to be able to provide feedback. And again, I will give you a demonstration of how learners can do this. So here's an example of a timetable. This is a Year 7 timetable, and on it you can see that these are the lessons that students would normally have in school. Now, all the ones that have been highlighted in purple are the pre-recorded voiceover lessons. Now, these are the ones that will be assigned onto Microsoft Teams with resources and tasks attached to them. All the other non-core subjects will continue to have work set on the school website. However, moving forward, if this is successful, we will also move towards having pre-recorded lessons in all of the subjects too. Now, the lessons do not have to be done during their times that are specified on this timetable, mainly because we appreciate that you might have other siblings where you've got one laptop and students might need to share that laptop. So long as that work is done within a 48 period of time and the work is then uploaded back onto the student portal or Microsoft Teams, we will be able to check it, we'll be able to give some feedback to the learners for later that week or next week. So how will this work? Well, we're using something called Microsoft Teams, which learners actually have access to. All you need is internet access. All they will then need is a username and password to access their school emails. Now, we fully appreciate that some students and learners may have forgotten their username and password, and that's why we have now reset all the passwords to the student's date of birth and their postcode. So, for example, if a learner's date of birth is the 2nd of March 2015 and their postcode is DY3 1BP, the password would simply be 02/03/2005/DY3 1BP with the postcode all in capital letters and no spaces. Now, the learners' email addresses are the same as their school computer usernames and logins, and all of them will be very familiar with this. So their username and login followed by @beaconhillacademy.org.uk. So for example, if John Smith's username at school is smithj1, their email would be smithj1@beaconhillacademy.org.uk. If you have any trouble with accessing your school email addresses, then of course simply email us and we will reset it for you. Now, once you've logged on to Microsoft Teams or your emails in this instance, you can change your password. So instructions of how to change your password is on our website under the Distance Learning tab, and then click on Microsoft 365. And there are step-by-step instructions on how you can change your emails as soon as you have logged in. If you have problems with any of that, then just email us at helpline@beaconhillacademy.org.uk. So the first thing you will need to do is to log on to Office 365, and the best way to do this is by going onto our school website and clicking on this icon that I have highlighted in red. So it's the icon that's got 4 squares joined together. This is the Office 365 logo. Now once you click on there, you will be directed to a Microsoft sign-in page. Now here you will need to type in the learner's email address. So the username is the same as what you would use to log into your RM computers at school, followed by @beaconhillacademy.org.uk. Please make sure that you type that correctly. And just to repeat, your username is the same as what you would use to log into the RM machines at school. And if you've forgotten that, then of course you can email us at helpline@beaconhillacademy.org.uk. Now, once you have typed in your school email address, you simply click Next, and then it will ask you for a password. And just to remind you, all of your passwords have been reset to your date of birth and your postcode. So if your date of birth is the 2nd of March 2005, you would simply put 02/03/2005/ and then your postcode, all in capital letters and no spaces. And once you have done this, you are ready to log on to Microsoft 365. So once you have logged in using your username and password, you will then come across a home page that looks a little bit like this. And just at the top here, it will have the name of the student and just there as well. And then you will have all of these key icons. Your Outlook are your school emails that allows you to send and receive emails. Your OneDrive is a place where you can store all of your work should you choose to do so. So if you've got if you haven't got much capacity on your school on your home laptop or your computer, you can use OneDrive to save all your work. And then of course you'll be familiar with these icons here: Word, Excel and PowerPoint. These are the Microsoft software packages that we use in school. Again, you do not have to have purchased these, and they don't have to be on your home computer, because you can use those through our Office 365 portal. And then this is the one that we will be focusing on, because Teams is the app that we will be using to be able to communicate with you, to send you work, and also for you to be able to upload work. So if you click on Teams, it will then take you to a page, and this is a live demonstration that looks like this. So I'm just going to very quickly now talk you through the key areas. Your activity log shows everything that you have been doing on the assignments that have been set for you, any work that the teachers are sending back with some amendments, and we will revisit this later on. Your Teams area are all the key classes that you belong to. So at the moment you can see there's only one class that has so far been activated. So this is my history class, and the student that whose account I'm going to be using belongs to this history class. But they will also have other teams and icons in here for the lessons that they have throughout the week. This is the most important part of Teams. So as you can see, this student belongs to all of these classes. BHA simply stands for Beacon Hill Academy, and then you can see Set 11 Maths Class 6. This is Year 11 Drama Set 1. This is Year 11 English Set 3, and so forth. And so for each of the core subjects, you will be set assignments. Eventually, we will want all subjects to come on board with Teams, but we're going to take it step at a time. So Maths, English and Science are going to be the first subjects that go online with Microsoft Teams. Now, for the benefit of this demonstration, I'm going to click into a history class. Not that we would be using this normally for history lessons, but on this occasion, for the purpose of this demonstration, I am using my history class. So I would simply then click on Next. And then you would have all the assignments that have been set by the teacher. So you can see that I have set this student an assignment. The topic that we're studying is medicine, public health, and this is lesson 1. So all the students and learners have to do is simply click on there, and you can just see that the due date of this assignment is on the 19th of April. So you know how long you've got, and it also gives you a time for when the cutoff point is. And once you click on there, it will give you some instructions. So the instructions that I have set are very simple for the purpose, again, of this demonstration. It says, go through the PowerPoint, listen to the teacher's instructions, and make notes in the task sheet. Work through the task sheets that are outlined in the PowerPoint presentation and the resources sheet, and then re-upload these tasks and hand them in to Mr. Darmy. So those are simple instructions. Remember, all the PowerPoint instructions, all the PowerPoint presentations that will be uploaded will have voiceovers. They may not be the voiceover of your exact teacher, but someone within Beacon Hill Academy or one of the trust schools will have pre-recorded these lessons for them to be uploaded to each class. So I'm just going to very quickly to show you, click on the PowerPoint presentation. You can see that this PowerPoint presentation has got some progress indicators and then some tasks that learners need to do. And then some teachers might even use the GCSE pod and drop it into the PowerPoint presentation. And all you simply would need to do there is to press play.
In this pod, we'll look at new ideas, new technologies, and
then you can pause it however you like and recap work. And it won't just be the GCSE pods, of course, that have the voiceovers, but most slides will also have voiceovers. Teachers will also give you instructions on when to pause the videos so that you can spend some time focusing on your work. And then once you have worked your way through the presentation, there are accompanying worksheets that the teacher may have also uploaded for you to do. So in this instance, for example, it says work through all the tasks as outlined in the presentation and the resource task sheet. So this is the resource task sheet. I will download that onto my computer, complete the necessary activities and the work, and then upload. And to upload, it's very simple, because you can see here it says reference materials. So that's the materials that the teacher will give you. And then this is my work. So once I've downloaded that document and I've completed the tasks on there, I would simply press this button that says add work. And then just like any device, you would upload it from wherever it is. And you can see I've got it saved on my desktop. So it says history work, Mr. Darmy, 13th of the 4th, 2020. I click on that, and within seconds it should upload the work, and there we go. I then simply press done, and at the bottom you can see that it's uploaded the worksheet that is now ready for me to hand in to my teacher. And the final step that you need to do, and perhaps the most important, is to press this button here that says hand in. So just to remind ourselves, you click on assignments, you choose your class. You then look at the assignment to see what the instructions are. You work your way through the reference material that the teachers have given you, uploading any work that you have completed. Once all of that is done, you then simply press hand in. And you can see there that there's a small animation, and it tells you that you have handed in the work on 13th of April at the time that it was handed in. So you know that you have completed that work. And if you go back, you will see a little tick to say that that has now been completed. Eventually, that will go, because it will show that you've got no set assignments. Now, once the teacher receives your work, they will look at it, and in time they will mark it and give you some feedback. And if you go to your activity log, you will see here any work that has come back that might need to be redone. In this instance, if I just click on this icon here, it says assignment returned. Okay, so this was a work that was set, and then here is some feedback that the teacher has given the student. So it simply says www, which stands for what went well. You have clearly identified and explained 3 factors for why public health improved in the 19th century. So that's the aspect that the student has done well. And then even better if, EBI, compare how this was different to public health in the 17th century. Okay, so that's the bit that they need to do to improve, and it might be that the teacher wants them to make those improvements, in which case all they need to do is to click on the last work that they submitted, make those amendments, click add work, and that will then upload the improved version of the work. And then all you would simply then need to do again is to press hand in, and then the work has been completed. And it's as simple as that. These are extremely complex times, and we hope that this new approach to learning will continue to support learners while school continues to remain shut. Whilst we fully appreciate that there is no substitute for classroom learning, we are absolutely committed to ensuring that all learners get the best possible education that they can receive through this new approach. Of course, there will be some teething problems and issues that we will all experience, but please remember, this is new to us all, and we are here to do whatever we can to support each and every single learner. Again, the key to accessing that support is our helpline email address, which is simply helpline@beaconhillacademy.org.uk. Thank you for listening.